Okay, this video is going to give a brief description of how to change the drive belt on a Craftsman YTS 4500 mower. Now, I thought it was going to be a simple fix. It wound up it wasn't. So I did a bunch of YouTubing, found similar mowers, and kind of figured out what we need to do here. So first of all, you do have to take the deck off, and there's just 5 hangers that hang it up. You can figure that out. There's 2 on each side and 1 up there in the front. So here is the drive belt. It goes around these 3 pulleys up to the engine pulley. Now the problem with this is going to be getting that belt off the top pulley, because you really can't see up there. I'm going to try to put my light on. Okay, so there's the pulley up there. Now that little guard, that black rod, is supposed to keep that pulley from popping off. So what you have to do, there is a chart of how this all goes together, but it is simple enough to know that you have 3 pulleys. They're 2 different styles. These are V-shaped, that's flat-shaped. So the flat-shaped pulley is going to rub against the back flat side of the pulley belt, and the other 2 are going to run on the V side of the belt. So we have it all jacked up. We're going to disconnect this belt. Not a whole lot to it. It has these little spring steel clips to hold that in. What you do need to make sure is that you don't route that belt in the wrong direction and get hung up on something. Now, I'm not going to be able to hold the camera and do this at the same time, but basically I'm going to push some slack up and get that belt off of that front pulley. We're going to have to take off that bolt, I think, unless we can get it to feed around the side of it, which I don't think so. That holds that clutch into place. So it's going to wind up being a way bigger job than I figured. I'll put you on pause and see what we got. So this is the belt. Got it off Amazon for $26. Oh, there we go. It's a 1/2 inch by 92 inch belt. Now, it says 92.45. I hope that extra 1/2 inch doesn't give us a problem, but that is the number inside of the hood of the tractor, 130969. So, side by side, you can see the old black belt on the right is worn down a little bit narrower. It didn't really look all that bad when I looked at the V itself, but when I compared it to the newer, it's definitely worn. Now, in order to get it off, here's where the hassle was. I had to take a 9/16 bit on an extension, turn the wheels all the way to the right, then there's a hole right here that you can reach up and take the keeper that holds the belt on that front pulley off. It would not come off, as worn as it was. And I knew the new belt would never go back on. I couldn't bend that thing enough by hand. That wasn't the only problem. I did have to take this bracket off, which connects here to the electronic clutch. And to add a little more pain, there's an electric wire here. They had to be disconnected from the harness up here next to the starter so that you can get the pulley out of there. So put it back on. Should be easy enough. I'm going to feed the new pulley belt right through here. Careful not to snag it on anything. I couldn't see up there with a mirror, so I certainly can't get it on the camera. I'm going to stretch it back to the back pulley. And the back pulley, there's this cooling fan on top of the rear differential. And there's just some spring steel that holds it on the left and the right, so you bend that out of the way. Be careful not to bend those the fan tabs. So we'll put you on hold and see where we are. Okay, so the job is finished. In summary, you got to take that 9/16 bolt out, and you got to disconnect that electric harness. Very similar to disconnecting the headlamps on a 2017 Toyota Highlander. Unplug it, send it through that hole. When you disconnect that 9/16 bolt on the side, it's going to take that pin out of the clutch. That lets you spin that around a little bit to do whatever you got to do. Turn the wheel all the way to the right, and up in that hole there's a 9/16 bolt that holds that little round tubular steel that wraps around the pulley to keep the belt on. Take that off. I fought it, so I finally found a bolt to take it off. And then you just reroute it around your pulleys. That's all pretty straightforward. And then the other pain was trying to get it around that fan. I put the brake on and off so many times I don't remember if I put it on or took it off to finally get around there. I think when you take it off, take the brake off, it lets the tension on the pulley. The whole job took well over an hour. I could probably do the second one in about 45 minutes. So everybody gives their pro tips on YouTube. My pro tip for this job would be to take it to a pro, let him do it. Or her. Or they. Tomorrow I'm going to pressure wash the deck, flip it over, sharpen the blades, clean all the grass out, oil the deck with some used oil and a paintbrush, the underside, and put it all back together. I do have that on one of my other videos for my Cub Cadet Zero Turn, how to oil the deck using a used motor oil. That'll do it for the night.